Hey loves, welcome and welcome back to the channel. It's your first time here. Hi, my name is Abigail and you're so welcome. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can balance content creation while also doing your 9 to 5 job simultaneously. Because I know that a lot of content creators have not been consistent because they don't know how to handle both at the same time. While some aspiring content creators have not actually started because they don't know how to do both simultaneously. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing all of that in this video. And if this sounds like something that you're interested in, you definitely want to stick around and watch this video to the very end, okay? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say in this video is that you need to be realistic. Why? Because you'll not be able to show up as frequently and consistently as creators who have taken content creation as their full-time job. The way you have a 9 to 5 job, that is how some creators see content creation or do content creation as their 9 to 5 job. So they have all the time in the world to actually create content. The way you have a 9 to 5 job, that is how content creation is a 9 to 5 job for them. So basically, they wake up in the morning, all they're thinking of is how to create content and publish on their social media page for that day. But you, on the other hand, you have a 9 to 5 job. You're basically thinking of how to show up at your place of work all up before 9 a.m. So you can see that you both are actually not the same. So you don't have to beat yourself up because you're not able to show up frequently and consistently as they do. So the first thing you have to bear in mind is that you have to be realistic. This leads me to the second point, which is planning. You need to plan. For you to be able to succeed or do both simultaneously, you need to have a plan. If there's no plan, then you plan to fail. If that makes sense. So with planning, you'll be able to do both well. And you need to treat content creation like your second job. You need to take it seriously because when you see content creation like a second job, you would want to show up no matter what. So you need to plan. And how can that be possible? Is by you setting specific days for the things that you need to do, such as planning, scripting, editing, posting. All these are a lot of work and you need to plan on how you'll be able to achieve every of these things. For example, you need to have a weekly structure. Once you're able to have a weekly structure in place, it would help you stay consistent because you have a timetable that you're following, if that makes sense. For example, on Monday, you can decide to make research on ideas, topic ideas you want to create content on. On Tuesday, you can decide to script. On Wednesday, you can decide to do nothing, just to rest. Then on Thursday, you can decide to prep your filming setup. On Friday, you're basically doing nothing. On Saturday, you're filming. Then on Sunday, you're scheduling your post to go up on your social media page, if that makes sense. So this is like a weekly structure. You get to set how you want your weekly structure to be like. But what I just basically explained is a weekly structure that you can follow without actually burning out, start actually getting tired, right? So you want to set your weekly structure and set it in a way that it will be very easy for you to follow. Okay, so on Monday, you can use Monday to make research on what topics you want to make videos on. Then on Tuesday, you're scripting your videos. Then on Wednesday, you're resting. Then on Thursday, you're prepping your setup area. And on Friday, you're basically doing nothing, you're resting. Then on Saturday, you're filming. Right on Sunday, you are editing and scheduling your post to go up on your page. You can choose to do it whatever days, but this is just like a simple weekly structure. Follow this pattern and set up a weekly structure, and you'll see that it is going to be very easy for you to show up as a content creator. Now, when it comes to prepping your space or your setup for filming, you want to make sure that you have the most simple and the most basic filming setup. Do not have a very complicated filming setup. That is where you're going to get tired real quick. Trust me. You want your filming setup to be as basic as possible. Do you understand? Because when your filming space is really complicated, like there's a whole lot going on in your filming space, before you even decide to film a video, you will be tired. and that is not going to be really nice because you want to reserve your whole energy for filming your video. You want to be energetic when you're filming your video. You don't want to feel really tired or stressed out when you're filming your video. So you want your filming setup to be really, really simple, whereby you just mount your camera or your phone and you're good to go. Do not have like um a lot going on in your filming setup, if that makes sense. So make sure that your filming setup is very, very simple. Okay. So once you're able to do this, you will see that you are not having a lot to do at a time. Once you're able to have like a weekly structure and a very simple filming setup, you see that you don't have to do a lot at once because you've already broken down everything on a daily basis. You're not doing everything all at once. So make sure you have a weekly plan. Make sure you have a weekly plan. This is very, very important. Now, this leads me to the next point, which is you need to batch create your content. I know you've heard this a lot of times, but it is very, very important. Looking at the fact that you are someone who have a 9 to 5 job. Yeah. So you want to batch create your content. Batch creating would save you a lot of time. So instead of you filming one video in a day, on Saturday, if Saturday is your filming day, instead of filming one video on Saturday, you can decide to film 2 to 3 or 4 videos if you have the energy for that. Film multiple videos. For example, if you're doing a sit down video, instead of filming one video, you can do 2 or 3 videos. Or if you're a natural hair content creator like me, you can make one styling tutorial and one sit down video. That way you have multiple content for the week. And if you're doing this sit down type of video, right, you can actually change your outfit or change your hair just to make it look like you filmed those videos on several days, whereas you actually did everything in one day, if that makes sense. So if in this video you're putting on black, the next video you're putting on pink, you change your top to a pink top, then the next video you change your top. That way people or your audience will think that okay, this video was filmed on several days. But if you want to do it with one outfit, there's nothing bad. The most important thing is the value you're providing. So basically you want to do multiple video all at once if you have the energy. And when it comes to natural hair, you might not be able to do multiple video if you're actually doing a styling tutorial, because styling tutorials actually take a lot of time. A lot of time. So you can actually decide to just film that styling tutorial for that day. Then the next week you are doing a sit down video. Or you can actually make your sit down video before actually doing your hair tutorial. Why? Because styling takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy. So if you're not able to do multiple videos for that day because you're actually doing a styling tutorial, it's all fine and good. As long as you have a plan, you can do that the following week. But the most important thing is if it is within your power, make sure to batch create. This leads me to the next point, which is you need to lower your perfection standard. This is very, very, very important. A lot of creators want everything to be perfect. While that is actually not bad, it is not bad to want everything to be perfect. But if you're aiming to have everything perfect, it might actually limit you, and you don't want to be limited. You don't want to be limited because a lot of creators who are actually doing 9 to 5 are actually waiting to have everything perfect before they can actually post. While some creators that have not even started creating are actually waiting till they have everything perfect before they actually start creating. That is actually not cool. Take this from me. Consistency beats perfection any day, anytime. So you don't have to wait until everything are perfect before you actually start creating content or before you stay consistent. Start with what you have. Don't wait till you have the perfect setup or till you have a camera before you actually put out content on your page or before you start creating content. Start with what you have. What you need to focus on is providing value and helpful content to your audience. And also, you can focus on clear audio and also good lighting, because as long as you have a good lighting, you can be rest assured that your video will be of good quality, and also the audio of your video would sound really good. That is what you need to focus on, making sure that your video, in your videos, you're sounding really clear and audible, and also the quality of your video is okay, which artificial light can do that for you. If you don't have artificial light, you can actually film with sunlight. That is what you need to focus on, not having aesthetic filming setup. That is actually very good. If you have it, why not? But if you don't have it, you don't have to say, oh, because I don't have an aesthetic filming setup, I'm not going to create content. So do not focus on having everything perfect. Start with what you have. And one thing I want you to bear in mind is that your audience would not focus on your filming setup. What your audience are focusing on is the value you're providing, how helpful your content is to them. And if you're providing value, your audience will definitely stay to watch, even if you are not um, a content creator with an aesthetic filming setup, or if you're not filming with a camera. Your audience don't care if you're filming with a camera or with your phone, or if you have an aesthetic pleasing setup. They don't care about that. What they care about is the value you're providing and your personality. Because a lot of people who watch content creators, they're either watching you because of the value you're providing or because of your personality. If they don't really like your personality, they might actually be watching you because of the value you're providing. And if they don't like the value you're providing, or they don't care about the value you're providing, they might be watching you because of your personality. So do you see? But majorly, audience who watch content creators are watching them because of their value they provide and their personality. So do not focus on having everything perfect. This leads me to the next point, which is you need to focus on simple content formats. Very, very, very important. Sit down videos are usually very easy to film and easier to edit. Sit down videos don't actually need so much heavy editing. Why? Because it's actually a straightforward video. Except you actually want to film your video in a way whereby you have to put b-rolls or you want to put graphics, illustration on your video. That's a different thing. But aside that, you can actually edit your video in a way whereby there is no b-rolls, there is no illustration, and your audience will still stay to watch that video as long as you're providing value. Unlike styling tutorials where you have to do a lot of cut and join and things like that, that one takes a lot of time and so much editing. So you want to focus on content that are easier to edit and film. You don't want to focus on something that's going to really take a lot of your time. So focus on simple content formats. This would help you stay consistent because you're not filming stuffs that are so burdensome to keep up with, if that makes sense. So focus on simple content format. This leads me to the next point, which is you want to use your weekdays for low energy tasks. As a 9 to 5 worker, right, you will definitely be at work Monday to Friday from morning till evening. And when you're back from work, you will definitely not have all the time in the world or the energy to actually film a YouTube video, right? Or probably an Instagram video. You may not have that energy. So you want to make use of your evenings after work to actually do other things such as brainstorming ideas, making research, scripting your videos, or even replying to comments on your previous posts. These are what you want to use your evenings to do. Why you say filming and editing for days when you have more energy. And instead of stressing yourself weekly, you can also plan a whole month of content whereby you can take 1 week to script out lots of ideas that you have. Then you know that you're focusing on just filming and editing the videos instead of thinking of what video next to publish or what content next to put out. I also want you to remember your long-term goal. Your long-term goal is to show and stay consistent and build your brand as a content creator. That is your long-term goal. So it's not advisable for you to actually quit your job. As a 9 to 5 worker, I would not advise you to quit your job. A lot of content creators, a lot of YouTubers have been able to build a successful YouTube channel, a successful brand while also doing their 9 to 5 work. I also work and I'm also building my channel, my brand as a content creator while also doing my 9 to 5 job. So I would not advise you to actually quit your 9 to 5 job. What I want you to bear in mind, or what I want you to see your 9 to 5 job as, is a type of job that is helping you to fund your content creation journey. I want you to see your 9 to 5 job as the job that is helping you to fund your equipment, the job that is giving you stability, and the job that is also allowing you to grow without pressure, because you are not pressured to show up every single time. Unlike creators who have taken content creation as a full-time job, you're not under pressure, right? So see your 9 to 5 job as the job that is helping you that is basically supporting your content creation journey. See it that way. So do not quit your job for any reason. Do not quit your job for any reason. This leads me to the next point, which is you need to rest. You need to rest. Rest is very important, because you're working a 9 to 5 and you're also creating content. It can lead to burnout. So you want to make out time to rest. Remember, in the weekly structure, I think I left 2 days where you don't have to do anything. It is very, very intentional, because you need rest. If you're overworking yourself, doing things every single day, you will burn out and you would get tired, and you don't want to burn out and you don't want to get tired, right? So make sure to rest. And if you cannot show up weekly, don't pressure yourself, don't rush yourself. Resting is very, very important. If you have the energy to show up, show up. If you don't have enough energy, please rest, then show up the following week. You don't have to kill yourself. But the most important thing is that you want to make sure to rest. Please rest. It is very, very important. Now, the last point I want to emphasize in this video is for you to show up. Show up. When you want to show up well. Don't show up anyhow. Don't show up shabbishly. If that makes sense. Show up well. The way you go to your 9 to 5 job every single day and you're showing up well at work, you're doing the necessary things that is expected for you to do it with your content creation as well. Don't take your content creation for a joke. Don't see it as a child's play. Take it as something serious. When you see it as something serious, when you treat it like a job, you would show up well. The way you go to work every single day because you don't want to be punished, because you don't want them to sack you, you don't want them to um, deduct your pay, show up with your content creation like that and be very intentional about it. Don't just show up anyhow, putting out anyhow content. You want to make sure you're providing value on every single content you're putting out. I know it might be difficult at first, but if you keep up with it, if you're very intentional with it, it will become easy. It's just like someone who doesn't know how to do something, right? When they practice, what happens? They become better. They become used to it. That is how it is. If you don't do it every single time, if you're not intentional about it, you will not become used to it. You will see it as a burden. But once you're very intentional about it, once it's something you know that you want to do, it will definitely become easy. So remember to show up well, and also remember to rest. It is very, very important. So these are the tips I have for you. If you follow these tips, trust me, best believe you would show up well and you will be able to balance both content creation at the same time while doing your 9 to 5 job. So if you enjoyed this video and you learned a lot from this video, do let me know in the comment section. And if you have any question, let me know in the comment section so I can answer your question. And if you got this far and you haven't subscribed to this channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Kindly hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I get to publish a new video on this channel. On this note, see you in my next video. Bye.